Welcome to the Soccer Nova Scotia Long-Term Player Development Grassroots Initiative, which will cover the retreat line for the fundamental and learning to train stages. Before we go into the presentation and overview, we need to address the reality of mini soccer in Nova Scotia. Currently, we have a culture to win at all costs at the expense of the player and their development, which fundamentally means that we're not teaching kids how to technically and tactically understand and play the game. Rather, we're using our physical abilities to be faster and stronger to simply win matches. And this has affected our starting point at the older age groups. It's significantly lower because players are not able to control the ball, pass, receive, and make decisions. So what is the retreat line? The retreat line is a coaching tool rather than a new rule. It's simply an environment that we, the coaches and the clubs, can create for the players to understand how to play the game. The retreat line will come into play when the ball has gone out of play for a goal kick or when the goalkeeper has the ball in his or her arms. So if the ball is at the goalkeeper's feet and it's live because a player has passed the ball backwards, then the retreat line will not come into effect. But if the ball is dead for a goal kick or it's in their arms, then it will come into effect. Once it's in effect, all opponents must go behind the retreat line and they cannot cross until the moment the keeper has played the ball from the goal kick or they've released the ball from their hands when in possession. So why do we need the retreat line? Well, we need to start servicing the players and give them the appropriate tools to play the game for life. The game is evolving. It's more of a controlled, technical, tactical philosophy rather than simply relying on big, fast, powerful players. We need to promote players who are comfortable in possession in all scenarios. We need to promote players to make better decisions, to be able to look up the field and identify where they can play. And we need to understand that it's important at this age of playing through all 3/3 of the field and not simply kicking the ball down to the attacking end. In following the Canadian Soccer Association's four-corner approach, by implementing the retreat line, we'll be developing all four corners of the player's development. The technical aspect by improving their short passing and receiving the ball on the half turn. In addition, we'll be looking at the tactical elements of penetrating passes when and why. Again, we'll be looking at the physical, so improving general ABCs. Improving the speed of play, so once the ball's in play, the player needs to identify what they see and then make the decision and execute it quickly. And also, because we're getting the players to face the field, there will be obviously an improved hip flexor rotation. In the social emotional development, it's team play rather than just simply kicking the ball down the field. Communication will be improved, cooperation will be improved, and players will have to learn different roles. From the psychological, mental, players will have to make more decisions. This will improve their self-confidence. It will assist them in identifying the risk assessment and improving in their awareness. So the question is, can the goalkeeper play before the opponents have retreated, or does the game stop? The answer is the goalkeeper can play as soon as they see an option that they want to play to. So if there's a player open, they can play. If they look down the field and they feel they can counterattack by playing a longer ball, they can do that. And if they see a 1v1 and they want to take advantage of this, again, goalkeepers are encouraged to make that decision. We do not want referees stopping the game and slowing it down because players have not managed to retreat behind the line. In this visual, you'll see that it's 5 versus 5, and due to the different seasons, this will affect the U8s outdoor and the U10s indoor. So in the 5v5 format, there'll be no punting from the goalkeepers. The reason for this is when you play 5v5, the field is very small and some physically developed players can reach from one goal to the other by simply punting it. We want players to understand and develop the skills and technical skills by playing the shorter option. In this visual, it's 7 versus 7, and this is what our under 10s will play in the outdoor and our under 12s indoor. The retreat line comes into operation in the final third, and the same can be said for the 9v9, which is a bigger pitch, and that's the U12 outdoor. So why do it? Well, the research is suggesting that when the retreat line is in operation, there are way more passing sequences than when it's not being used. As you can see by the tables, that information is being outlined, with the U9 success rate being 21% higher when it's used, whereas in the U11s it's 13% higher. In addition, the type of pass made once in the retreating area is also significant. So the findings establish conclusive that if a player plays a long pass, which is roughly over 15 meters, it's also going to reduce the chance of generating a passing sequence. So if the goalkeeper rolls it out to a defender and that defender just simply kicks it down the field, again, the ability for the team to get on the ball and put 2 or 3 more passes together is going to be reduced. So how are we going to support and implement this? Well, starting obviously in the fall and winter of 2015-16, all of Nova Scotia's fundamental learning to train stages will be adopting the retreat line. We're going to need staff, regions, clubs, coaches and officials. They all have a responsibility to help promote and implement this. Parents, we also encourage you not to encourage your players or your child to push forward when the goalkeeper either has a goal kick or has it in their hands. This will be difficult in year 1, but will eventually become common practice and we won't have any more issues. The officials have been notified and they will also be briefed during their indoor refresher training for this fall. And we've also requested that the officials remind coaches before the start of each game. And we're asking that coaches keep their players accountable to this at all times. The players will do as asked, but if a coach simply does not encourage their players to do and implement the retreat line, then players will pressure the ball. If you have any questions regarding this initiative, feel free to email me at coach@soccerns.ns.ca. Again, we would like to thank the Ontario Soccer Association for giving some of their resources to us whilst we try and implement the retreat line.